Welcome to the YouTube channel March On. My name is John Pruitt, and this video today is going to be about transitioning from military life into civilian life. I had a rough time myself transitioning. I've been out for 3 years. I had to do this. Plenty of people will have to do this. I would like to share my personal journey. Hopefully this is educational. Okay, this isn't a career shift. It's a lifestyle change. You're completely changing everything. In the military, we're a tight-knit community. We have a mission. We are not individuals, we are a team. When you transition out, you are now an individual. You have to think, what are you gonna do? You're not told when to go to chow. You're not told when to PT. You have so many decisions to make, and it can be overwhelming. There's no more structure in your life. With me, I had all of these factors, all these things I couldn't control. There's two things in life we can control, and that's our choices and our reactions. You know, if you're religious or spiritual, just put it out into the universe, take some weight off your shoulders. You can't control everything. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Adjusting expectations. So for me, even in the military, I had super high expectations for both myself and people under me, people around me. We're in the military, we're held to a higher standard, and I hold everyone to a higher standard. Once I transitioned out into civilian life, I had to learn how to lower that bar that I set for everyone. There's no structure, and there's plenty of freedom, and people around you, they're not gonna understand. They think they understand. They might act like they're being supportive, but they're not being supportive. It's hard. It's a hard thing. You feel disoriented. So recalibrating your expectations. It is essential to approach the situation with adaptability and with patience. Patience is something that I had to develop. That's a skill it's a skill. You have to work on it. You have to work on it all the time. Patience. I did not have patience, and now I have a little bit of patience. Still working on it. Adaptability. You have to adapt. It is a transition. Things might take a while to fall into place. It won't happen overnight, and that's okay. That is perfectly fine and understandable. There's a fly in here. The best advice that I got out, and I met an army veteran, and we got to talking, and I was just like, dude, it's rough out here. It is rough. And he said, take it day by day. And I've heard that. I've heard it plenty of times, but just coming from him, because I know he's been in my shoes, it helped. It helped a lot. And me just thinking that, like, all these things, next week I gotta do this, I gotta push this, I got like a planner now, a calendar. Take it day by day. What do you have to accomplish today? Write some bullet points. I have a little journal. I don't know where the journal is. I have a little field notebook, and I use the bullet journal method, and I just keep that in my pocket. Plenty of people do that in the military already. Just write down your task, knock them out. Do one at a time. The importance of connections. Maintaining connections is crucial. Our military bonds don't dissolve after service. You had a brotherhood, you had fellowship, and me personally, I felt very alone when I got out. I felt misunderstood when it didn't have to happen like that. There's plenty of people out there, there's plenty of organizations, plenty of veteran organizations where you're gonna have bonds with the people in there. They've been in your shoes. Take their advice and follow it. No one understands but veterans. You know, we might have had completely different jobs, but we are in this together. Iron sharpens iron. If you are active duty currently and you had a buddy that got out, do a buddy check. See how they're doing. You gotta ask. You gotta ask, and if they say, good, I'm doing good, keep asking. Veteran suicide rate is very high. And don't fall into a statistic where you do not belong. Which leads me into my next point: utilize your resources. Leveraging available resources is key. You have the GI Bill, you have VA healthcare, you have job fairs or career fairs, networking groups, extremely valuable, but that is just the surface of the resources available to you. I will make a point for my next video to share some of these resources. Do a quick Google search. Plenty of organizations out there. When I got out, it was a surprise. It was a surprise to me. I got out for medical reasons. I did not want to get out. I had a lot of fear getting out. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Luckily, a family friend kind of took me under his wing and trained me to be a claims adjuster. That is what I have done the past 3 years. My job in the Navy was intelligence specialist. I would gather information, I would form a product, and I would disseminate that information. Ended up doing that same exact thing, just with property insurance. Gather the evidence, gather pictures, gather information, build a product, put all that information together, and then send it off. And this is my assessment on what we should do. You're trained. You are trained to do a job, and by God, you'll probably use that training. Anyways, ask your command. There's planning for housing, employment, and healthcare. It is all backed through research and can significantly ease the transition. Embracing positivity. This sounds cliche, but mindset is absolutely everything. Keeping a positive outlook. I personally did not do this. I had a horrible outlook. I had a plan for my life, and it did not go as planned, and I had to readjust, and I isolated, and I self-medicated through alcohol. And if anyone out there is doing a similar thing, once you have a drink of alcohol, look down in the bottom and ask yourself if you found anything from that drink, because the answer is not in there. Doing way better now. Plenty of videos on YouTube talking about alcohol, people sharing their stories. That helped a lot. Andrew Huberman podcast. He's a neuroscientist. He talks about alcohol. All in all, it's, we want our mental health to be on point, and we want our physical health to be on point. And alcohol destroys both those things. Look at this as an opportunity for a fresh start. Leverage your military-honed skills like leadership, teamwork, and discipline in new, exciting ways. All of us have those. It is 2023, and a lot of people, well, I'm 27. Once I got out of the military, I realized that stuff like discipline actually isn't that easy to come by. It's not that easy to come by. It is hard to find. To my fellow veterans stepping into civilian life, remember to take it day by day and embrace both the opportunities and the challenges. You're not just turning a new page, you're writing a new story. And I would just like to remind everyone, we are not alone. I have started a March On Discord server. I'm going to put the information down below. Please join it if you are having a hard time with transitioning. If you're a veteran that has transitioned and you can provide input to the community, please join. If you are having a hard time, a great time, neutral time, join that. We feed off of each other. We are not in this alone. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Take it one step at a time. This is March On. I'm John Pruitt, signing off. Godspeed.